Rita, what makes you choose the Knead Cafe to come and show off your knife cutting skills and work and give back? Why here?
The mission here, the lovely people here, you actually have a true family here. They'll help you with anything possible they can help you with. And they love everybody. They don't judge. They're just out front and loving people. What better environment to be than here?
Hello, I'm Dominic Domansky, and this is Discovering Inspiration. On this episode, me and my son, cameraman Cam, visit the Knead Community Cafe in New Kensington, Pennsylvania. The Knead Community Cafe is a unique organization that offers pay what you can and pay it forward meals. This organization created a gathering place that nourishes both the body and soul. It was founded by Kevin and Mary Bodie, and with their passion and the dedication and support of a community and their volunteers, this organization is making a difference. There's a lot of good in this world, and in spite of an ugly virus trying to hold them back, the Knead Community Cafe continues to find a way. Kathy's about to flip a pancake here. We're going to get this on. See her skill level. Oh, that is impressive.
All right.
Here comes another one.
Whoops. Gotta make sure it's ready to flip.
How do you know?
When it's bubbled on the top.
Excellent. Well, Kathy, what made you start volunteering here?
Well, Mary and Kevin are friends of ours, and they were starting this, and we thought it was a great mission they're doing. It's helping the people in the area. It's a real good cause, and that's why I come on Saturday mornings.
Looks like you make good cakes.
We try to. We have a good time. We met a lot of really great people here. A lot of good volunteers. This place runs with a lot of good volunteers.
And what does it mean to you when you know that your efforts here are helping the community?
It's great. It's nice to see, even like the other night we were watching, I saw that the people were still coming here for their community meals, which is a very nice thing to offer for the neighborhood. And these people really, there's a lot of people here that are suffering, so it's good for them.
So for 3 years you guys have been around, and my understanding is this is a pay it forward organization.
It's a pay what you can restaurant.
What does that mean?
Okay, so pay what you can means when people come through the door, we explain to them our mission. So we try to have a greeter at the door when someone comes in. We explain to them how we operate. So the idea is when someone comes in, if they can, we have a suggested donation. So people want to know, how much do I need to pay to cover my meal, whatever. So we give them a number, and if they can pay that amount, fine. If they can pay additional over the amount, so if it's $8 and someone says, I'll give you $10, the additional $2, and helps us pay it forward to somebody else that comes through the door that can't pay the suggested donation. If somebody comes in and they say, can only give you $5, that's fine. We don't turn anybody away.
Right.
But we do ask people that come in that either ask for a meal for free or only can pay a few dollars. We ask them to partner with us and volunteer their time so that we can help other people. So we call it a hand up and not a handout. Right. And that way, if they come in and volunteer, then we can help feed other people. So a lot of our volunteers that you'll see in here sometimes during the week are people that are here to get a meal. We get people from Halfway House. You mentioned about somebody getting out of jail. We get several of those types of people. People that are doing community service hours, whatever. We get all kinds of different people. And then we have a lot of volunteers here that really don't need a meal. They're here just because they love serving people and they want to help us out. So you get a real mixture of people that volunteer every day in here as well.
When you told beautiful Mary here that you were going to start a restaurant where people could pay what they wanted, what did she say to you?
Well, actually, I had told her I wanted to do something in town. I didn't know what. I was originally thinking maybe a coffee shop. I was on the board at the YMCA for a number of years, and we would do mentoring programs with young teenagers that didn't have fathers and so on, just trying to teach them what it is to be a man, how to treat people, and so on. And really, it was Mary that found this One World Everybody Eats organization that does this pay what you can concept. She's the one who really found it and brought it to me and said, hey, I think this is better than a coffee shop. We can serve more people, and coffee shops, unless you're in a really good area with a lot of traffic, coffee shops don't always do very well. So really, with Mary, they got the idea and brought it to me.
Thank you.
Well, I like the concept of partnering with people based where they are. My background is occupational therapy, so the whole thing about how can we help each other in the world, how can everybody has a gift, a talent to share. We want to do something with dignity. We always say we're not a soup kitchen. People will never be turned away that are hungry, but we'll find a way we can partner. It might be just wiping down the door handles. It might be just being a greeter. There's always something. And people that come in having to ask for a meal, it's very challenging, right? Maybe a lot of us have never experienced that, but for somebody to say, can I volunteer my time and help you? And we say, sure, would you like a meal? All of a sudden they became a partner and they network with us, and it's dignity. So we really like that.
Good. All right. Everybody's so passionate here. I can see it from everybody I'm talking to. And now, Kevin and Mary, we're not going to tell them we're saying this, but are they here all the time?
They are here all the time. Kevin handles all of the aspects of the ministry, of the cafe, of the mission that is, to be perfectly honest, over all of our heads. Mary never leaves the cafe, and what I mean by that is,
where's her bunk?
She literally carries this place in her heart 24 hours a day. And I know that sounds cliche, but I cannot share with you how every fiber of her being is about the cafe, not only the running of the cafe and ensuring that everything here goes the way that it should, and that she wants it to, and she holds us to a pretty high standard. But she worries when she's not here about the people who need us. She has concern for them always, and it's just part of who she is, and that's what makes this place work. If you don't have that heart, if you don't have that passion in the essence of, in the idea of a place like this, then it's not going to be successful. Mm-hmm. She truly is the spirit of the Knead Cafe, and Kevin's just the lucky guy that gets to be married to her too. So I'm saying he's the luckiest guy in town. But no, she truly never leaves here. I wish she would. I wish she could turn it off a little bit, because it's difficult to carry that with you all the time. But she does it with grace and beauty, and with a deep, abiding love of Christ in her heart, and she performs his work with her hands every day. And so it's an honor to know her. It's an honor to call her our friend. It's an incredible honor to have her as our foundress. And I don't know, do you have anything left to say?
You two are great ambassadors. Go on.
Yeah, I second that. We can handle operations. We can make sure food is served and things are all clean and all the donations are handled, and we can open the doors and do that piece of it.
You two are going to make me cry.
And that's fine and dandy for just a regular restaurant. I think we'd be great, but without her, there's just so many pieces that are all up here. And when you're in this every day, doing the cashing out, checking orders, cleaning, whatever, sometimes that doesn't fit. So she's the piece of what makes this mission unique, and the reason why it's gonna be successful.
Very complimentary. You two nailed it. There's a rumor going around here that you're here 24/7.
I would say not physically, but maybe mentally, right? Maybe this is our baby, our inception, and when you get to know people, it's hard to turn it off. And so if we haven't seen someone who may be homeless for a few days, then you start worrying and wondering, where are they? Are they okay? Do they have something to eat? And I think when you care about something, it's really hard to just put it on a 9-to-5 kind of basis, right?
He does the free dinners
Every month.
every month.
Yeah.
How many people do you feed in here? The 300 seats in here?
Thanksgiving, we had over 400 people here.
Yeah, about 425, 450 for Thanksgiving.
How do you get so many committed volunteers to come out and help with such a big operation?
I'll tell you, once we get someone coming out, they just love it. The atmosphere is so energetic and positive, right? And people just love to come together. We call this the Breaking Bread Dinner, and we literally open the doors and invite the whole public, the whole community to come join us. It doesn't have to be people of need. It can be supporters, friends, neighbors, volunteers and their families. And we all come in and we sit real close and tight together and we make new friends.
And so what happens is we actually, we first started doing this, we started promoting it and asking businesses if they would help us out. So we have either businesses or individuals, sometimes anonymously, will sponsor the dinner and they'll pay for it. And then we put a free will donation out. We don't ask anybody for anything, but if somebody wants to put something in, they can. So usually between the corporate money or the individual donors and the people that put money in the box, we usually make enough money to cover the meal. And so we're actually, the sponsorships are booked out through next February, I believe.
Wow.
Next year, yeah. It's crazy. People love it. And so a lot of businesses will bring their employees. They'll come and actually serve the meal. Sometimes they'll take over all the serving. Our volunteers don't need to come. So it's like a team building thing for them. It's like something they can serve the community together. And so it's been really cool to see people. It's like a fish fry. You come in and so we sit you down. So you might be perfectly fine sitting down next to someone who's homeless, and you make them feel worthy by sharing a meal with them. So people love the energy in them.
In light of everything that's going on with coronavirus and everything today, the community still needs help. So is there a way that people can help you guys right now?
Well, of course, we're open for takeout service. So if people are tired of eating at home, please, just do a takeout order is awesome. You can also go to our website or our Facebook page, and it's Knead, spelled like this, kneadcommunitycafe.org, and there's a donate button. That's always appreciative. Or just come and buy a couple tokens for us, and we'll make sure that those people that need it at this time with the situation of the coronavirus. Usually we partner with people, those people wanting to volunteer for a meal. We have stopped that, and so anyone that comes to us in need or hungry, we're going to feed them no matter what. So the tokens are really helpful for that.
Very cool. Thank you. Rita, what makes you choose the Knead Cafe to come and show off your knife cutting skills and work and give back? Why here?
The mission here, the lovely people here, you actually have a true family here. They'll help you with anything possible they can help you with. And they love everybody. They don't judge. They're just out front and loving people. What better environment to be than here?
Kevin, this is such a huge undertaking. I mean, dining rooms, giant kitchen, staff. What made you say that I got to do this? I'm going to start something like this.
So I had been going on mission trips overseas, doing work in places like the Dominican Republic, and my wife started coming with me as well. And several times after going on mission trips, I'd come back and I'd find myself walking down the street. If you walk out of this building and go about 3 blocks that way, keep going for several blocks, it's some of the highest poverty in Pennsylvania. And so I just felt like God was calling us to do something here locally and not just do something overseas. I still love going on mission trips, we do it all the time. But I felt like there was a calling to do something here. And so that's kind of what got us on the path to start searching for, okay, what can we do to serve this community and help people out here? A big part of the cafe has become a lot more than just feeding people. So people like Rita in our kitchen, she came to us, didn't have any cooking skills whatsoever. Jeff has taken her under his wings.
Saw her chopping that.
Yeah, taught her how to cook. So she actually, there's times when Jeff goes on vacation, not here, and she runs the kitchen. So she's got a real skill now that someday she'll be able to go out in the community and get a job and be employed for it. But not only that, she at one point was homeless, didn't have any housing. All of our people here fell in love with her, and immediately when she was on the street, all came together. We found her housing, we helped her get furniture, we've taken care of her kids at times when she needed help with her kids. So it's just become a lot more than feeding people. It's really taking care of people's needs, meeting them where they're at. We don't care what their background is. We're a place of second chances, we call it. And then we really want to work with them to help get their lives on track, help make sure they stay on track. And so for us, that's just been very rewarding. We knew God would do other things than just feed people here. We didn't really know exactly what, and Reed is just a great example of that story.
Awesome. Okay. I mean, I used to have a restaurant back in the day, and I know the cost. I mean, I gotta think there's tens and 20s and maybe hundreds of thousands.
Yes.
Where does that come from?
So when we found the buildings, my wife and I decided we wanted to purchase the buildings ourselves. We actually had built a big home that we decided we were going to live in the rest of our lives, and we decided when we did this to sell that house and move back to the Kensington area. It was a much smaller home, and we used part of the proceeds to buy these buildings. It was very important to me to be able to go to the community when I started fundraising and say, we put our own money forward and we're not just asking other people to do that. So we did that, and because of my career, I've been very blessed to make a lot of connections with the foundation community, and I just started fundraising right away, and people started giving us money, and we raised the fund.
There's so many people in need, and what I come to learn is that I think a lot of the population doesn't understand who's in need. They don't realize that there may be an elderly person that's only getting $400 a month. There may be a school teacher that lost their job and now they're in need.
Exactly right.
So what the population that you serve, who are they?
So it's a mixture. Some of the people you would look at, and you like the other night we did takeout meals, and a lot of the people you could look at, you could tell there are people that need help. I mean, you can look at their clothes and you can see that they're either from the projects down the street or whatever, and you can tell there are people who are trying to help. But as you mentioned, there are a lot of people that you look at, and you may not necessarily know it. We've had situations, even I know from our church, where someone lost their job and no one in our church realized it, and their cupboards were empty.
Right.
And our priest came to us when we were trying to help them out. A lot of us would never know that. And so, and you know, people don't want to come out and act like they don't want to say it to people. They try to hide it. So it really can be your neighbor next door that is really going through a struggle right now. I think we're going to see a lot more of it now with what's happening. People are going to be getting laid off with this whole coronavirus deal. So there's a lot of people that we serve in need. When you come here, sometimes you look around and you think, well, I don't really see anybody in need, but you don't realize there are. The other thing that I tell people too is it's not always necessarily a physical need. So we have a lot of people that come in here that just feel lost. They have no family. They have nobody else. Maybe they're going through a tough time. I can tell you some stories about some of our volunteers. The reason they're here is because they went through a really bad rough patch in their life and they're dealing with struggle, and they come here and they serve people and they realize their life isn't as bad maybe as the person they're serving. So, so it's not always just a physical need too. It's spiritual. It's helping people cope with what's going on in their lives as well. It's just we become like a family.
I'm hearing from a few people about the giving tree. Can you explain what's going on here?
Sure. We actually had an artist who was doing some community service work that she needed to get done, and we wanted to do a tree. We call it the giving tree, and we have this little thing at our register area. For every token purchased for our giving tree, we are able to hand that out and give to a patron that comes in. Maybe that person is having a bad day. Maybe they can't physically volunteer to work for their meal. Maybe they're having some issues with that day that we just don't feel volunteering would be great. So we are able to say, hey, you know what, today, don't worry, somebody from our community loves you and they bought your meal for you. Okay. So that's what we do. So people can buy those at our register for a $10 donation, and we stick it here and we're able to remove it and give it to people as needed.
So this is another form. So let's say, so I walk in, the meal's $10. There's a suggested price. Is that how?
Yeah.
Let's say. Whatever.
Yeah.
And then as a guest, maybe I could pay 20, or I could buy something like this.
Exactly. Somebody might buy their lunch and say, hey, please add a token to my donation. And so we have a button. And so that's what they do. And so when they give us that $10, we have a little token and we put it on the tree. And so that's for somebody's future meal that can't afford it.
When you first started this, were you did you know? I mean, it's taken off, and it's a beautiful place.
Thanks.
Were you surprised when people were like, "Yeah, I got that guy's lunch. I got that guy's lunch"? Or were you ever?
Yeah. We are community run and supported, and I can't say enough how our community has responded to us. I think people intrinsically want to do good things. They just don't know what or how to do it, and we provide that opportunity. So there's so many different ways. I mean, by purchasing a token, we have a bread box. So if somebody anonymously wants to put in their pay, if they can't afford a meal and they just want to add a little bit to the donation box. It's again with dignity. They don't have to tell us, I only have a few dollars. Just put your donation in there and it's fine. And the generosity of just different businesses. Right now with coronavirus, we've had a lot of caterers or other restaurants that have decided to close and have sent over their perishable items. And so the apples and oranges today are compliments of people from the community that want to see people fed. So.
Okay, so you'll have the 5 fast pancakes, 3 bacon. I'll take the 3 eggs, 2 bacon, 2 pancakes, and home fries.
Honey, what's your egg?
I'll take mine scrambled. And then I want to be part of this. How does this process work?
So, $14 is your suggested donation.
Okay.
You can pay that, pay what you're able, or pay it forward for somebody else.
Can I get 3 tokens?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, as soon as it is back.
Oh, okay, I got it.
So there's cardboard boxes here, right by this doorway. They need to get broken down. Jeff, should we keep some?
And in doing so, we trust that God will provide in that desperate time. And of course, people come out and they support us as much as we support them.
Well done. No,
Come in and we sit real close and tight together and we make new friends.
in the words of Fred Rogers, in times of trouble and despair, look for the helpers. There's a lot of good in this world, and volunteers and organizations like the Knead Community Cafe are there to help. Better days are ahead, my friends. If you enjoyed the episode, please like, please share, and please subscribe.